What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, coming back to Oasis. Yes, indeed, Oasis Fans Feeling You. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-bibbidi-bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Archdemon, and Archdemon wanted to see me react to this song by Oasis called Live Forever. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I've heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Oasis Channel 1, okay? And the video has 402,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Live Forever, Oasis. It should be the other way around, but I know that's nitpicking, but should be Oasis and then Live Forever, but whatever. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Maybe I don't really wanna know how you got and grows, 'cause I just wanna fly. Lately, did you ever feel the pain in the morning rain as it soaks you to the bone? Well, maybe I just wanna fly, wanna live but don't wanna die. Maybe I just wanna breathe. In the morning rain, as the soul shoots to the bone. Maybe I will never be all the things that I wanna be. Now is not the time to cry. Now's the time to find out why. I think you're the same as me. We see things I'll never see. You and I are gonna live forever.
That's the G. Resolve to the A. Okay. That's kind of clever. So the verse A to E to B to the D to the E to the A. Okay, so root to the 5 down to the 2 up to the 4 to the 5 to the root again. That's the verse. Chorus starting on the F sharp down to the E. So you got the root to the 7 down to the 4 That's the B. B would be the 4 of the F sharp. And then up to the 6 to the 7, so D to E to the F sharp. So we're having a lot of parallels as far as progression goes. Just the starting point really is what's making the big difference. We're utilizing the B, the D, and the E. It's just sometimes in the verse we're starting on the A, and the chorus we're starting on the F sharp. And I like how they resolve out going down to the G, which would be the 7 of the A, but the flat 2 of the F sharp. I think that's really clever. That's actually very clever. It's pretty easy to follow, though. Like, it's not difficult to follow. I'm having a hard time saying it's impressive because it really isn't. The only thing that's kind of impressing me a little bit is the utilization of the G and how they're using the G as the resolve to get back into the main riff again. That's kind of interesting. Everything else, pretty cookie cutter, if I'm being honest. It's nothing all that impressive. We've seen lots of bands follow that progression before, but they are doing it well. It does sound good. It is pleasing to the ear. So I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. I'm just saying I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm being blown away by this because I'm really not. The only thing that's slightly blowing me away is the utilization of the G. But in any case, let's get back into this. Kind of nice groove. Straight ahead.
I don't really wanna know how you got it, girls. 'Cause I just wanna fly. Lately, can't you ever feel the pain in the morning rain? I just soak you to the bone. And maybe I just wanna fly, wanna live but don't wanna die. Maybe I just wanna breathe. Maybe I just don't believe. Maybe you're the same as me. We see things I'll never see. Feeling I'm gonna live forever. Gonna live forever. Gonna live forever.
B to the G, B to the G, B to the G. Okay.
Gonna live forever.
Nope, double.
Gonna live forever. Gonna live forever.
Come on, Lee. Starting to get a little stale. Please tell me the result of the A. Really? You're going to end on the B, not resolve to the A. Missed opportunity. They could have resolved to the A and really left it resolved. But by ending on the B that way, it kind of leaves it unanswered, unresolved. Now, I'm sure that's what they were going for. I'm sure that was what the type of feel they were trying to get. I mean, they succeeded, absolutely, but Yeah, I think it would have been far more pleasing to the ear if they had resolved to the A instead and just ended on that. Ended it with the same chord that they started with. I think that would have been a lot more pleasing to the ear as far as, resolution goes. So, I don't know. It depends on what you're looking for, I guess, and what you're hoping to get out of it. In any case, let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Oasis with Live Forever. This was a request from Archdemon. Not really a lot to talk about, if I'm being honest. This is going to be pretty cut and dry. So let's get to it, shall we? On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 6.8. Yep, 6.8. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, a 6.8. What does that mean? Well, a 6.8 would translate to a pretty good scale rating because overall I think it was a pretty good song. It would also get 3 out of 5 stars and a B letter grade. Yeah, B as in boy. Let that one sink in. So there you go, a 6.8, pretty good scale rating, 3 out of 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Okay, look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be, in love with this, because I'm not. I'm also not going to sit here and pretend I'm impressed by this, because, again, I'm not. I will say, it's solid, it has a nice groove, it gets the job done, it feels good across the board, everything that they did was pleasing to the ear. They followed a very simple chordal progression, very, very easy to follow. The only thing that kind of shocked me a little bit was the resolution to the G before they are using the G to resolve back to the A when they would resolve back to the A. That worked in their favor, and it also worked against them. I'll explain what I mean by that. When they would go back to the A, the utilization of the G made perfect sense. Okay, it absolutely did. Especially coming off the F sharp. F sharp down to the E, down to the B, up to the D, to the E, to the F sharp, down to the E, to the B, down to the G, which is the flat 2 of the F sharp, but because they're going to resolve up to the A, it becomes the 7 of the A. It makes perfect sense, okay? Very pleasing to the ear. On the flip side, the ending, utilizing the G to go back to the B, back to the G, back to the B, back to the G, back to the B, back to the G. Guess where we're going? Back to the B, back to the G, back to the B, back to the G. I wonder where we're going to go next. Now we're going to go back to the A and resolve? Nope. We're going to go back to the B again. And guess where from there? Back to the G again. It became very repetitive at the end. And if I'm being honest with you guys, it went on for a little bit too long. It started to get a little stale. I really wish they had resolved back to the A. That would have left a much better taste in my mouth than staying on that B to end. I'll be honest with you, if you're between those two chords, ending on the B or ending on the G, I kind of wish they had ended on the G. Because at least if they had ended on the G, they could have let your mind kind of wander a little bit. Because it could have ended up resolving to the A, but they didn't do that. They ended on the B to leave it completely unresolved. And I'm sure that's the effect they were going for. I'm sure that's what they were trying to achieve. And look, they did it. More power to them. Absolutely. Would I say that that's pleasing to the ear? It really depends on the individual, I suppose. I like it when songs resolve. I like it when there's a very clear, definitive ending. When it leaves you hanging like that, depending on how they leave you hanging. Like I said, if they had left you hanging on the G, I think I could have stomached that a lot better than leaving it resolving on the B, on the 2. Resolving on, leaving us hanging on the 7, I think would have sounded a lot better. I think it would have felt a lot better too. As far as musicianship goes across the board, I think everybody did a pretty good job. I'm not going to say really good. But everybody did a pretty good job playing the instruments, playing the chords they were supposed to be playing. It sounded decent. It sounded solid. It was pleasing to the ear, yes, but it was very basic. It was very simple and easy to follow. This is how I'm coming up with that pretty good scale rating. That's how I'm coming up with that 6.8. Nothing really all that impressive, if I'm being honest, but at the same time, no complaints either. Other than the ending. The ending, like I said, dragged on a little bit. But getting the 6.8, not a bad score, folks. Remember, we don't get into the bad scores until we're under 5. This is getting a 6.8. It's a pretty good scale rating. So, yeah, I feel good with that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 6.8, which is a pretty good scale rating, 3 out of 5 stars in a B letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.